you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. So you got to look back and see what you were doing that has you to the point that you're at right now. And you got to learn from it. So that's where to start. You gotta take accountability, realize what you did, and see the change you need to make. And then from there, everything should be clear.
Here we have a man that really needs no introduction, right? But we're gonna give one anyway because you may not know him, and that's okay. But after today, you're gonna know who he is. He is Dontae Jenkins from Pleasantville, New Jersey. He's a current student at Morgan State University studying engineering.
Go Bears!
Among many other things. We got two bears on the show now.
Who's Mama Bear?
My mom.
Mama Bear.
Shout out to Mama Bear.
Yes. Shout out to Mama Bear. But yeah, I'm not going to say too much because that's just his school background. He is so much more than what he does in school and what he does for work, business, and otherwise. So y'all can go ahead and take the conversation away because
sounds like a plan.
That was a little crusty.
It's all good. We're going to piece it together. So yes, Dontae, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you and Morgan know each other a little bit, but just from a stranger perspective, I would love to, know who is Dontae.
For sure. First, I want to say I appreciate y'all for having me. This is my first ever podcast being interviewed, so to speak. So, you know what I mean? It's a cool experience. It's a new experience, so I'm just happy to be here. But just like Morgan was saying, my name is also known as Tay. My name is Dontae, also known as Tay. From Pleasantville, South Jersey to be exact, right outside of Atlantic City.
South Jersey stand up.
Exactly, South Jersey stand up. Shout out to the whole tri-state area though, but that's where I'm from. I grew up there, all throughout middle school and high school, and then I decided to make the decision to come out here to Maryland for college to study engineering, just as Morgan stated as well. I recently graduated in December, and now I have my bachelor's in civil engineering. So I'm working with a general contractor. General contractor is like so if you got something that want to be built, the general contractor is in charge of getting all the subcontractors, everybody, you know what I mean, to get that job done, basically. So you got people that's going to do glass, people that's going to do drywall, people that's going to do foundation. So it's our job to work with the owner, the person who's bringing the money to the table, to get the job done. So I'm a part of a great team with Clark Construction, working down at the airport right now. So that's a little,
pretty cool.
Little quick brief for me.
Okay, so I'm curious to know what got you into engineering. Was that something you've always wanted to do, or what inspired that?
Kind of. I would say kind of. I've always been fascinated by infrastructure. So like buildings. I had an uncle who still lives up near the New York area. He stays in Jersey City right now. But there was a point in time where he lived in New York. And I used to be with him a lot. So being in New York, just fascinated about buildings. It's crazy you be in the city and you just got to look up all the time to look all the way up to see the type of structure. So always some way, somehow wanted to be involved with just trying to build a building. At first it was an architecture thing, but then being driven by money when I was young, I found out that engineers make more. So to answer your question, it was the money that, it got me stuck to engineering. But
interesting.
But
I didn't know engineers make more than architects.
Well, it all depends. But I would say one thing I can say, and this is nothing against architects, because we work hand in hand to get jobs done, but an architect is going to deliver the aesthetic, the beautiful things that you see. But we're the reason the building is going to stand for however many amount of years. So we both have an importance, but as far as the math and coming down to the numbers and keeping that structure up, because people's lives are at stake, engineers are very important, so it can't be done without
On
them.
a day-to-day basis, what is that like for you? Like, have you ever had anything like crazy happen, or is that like just, because I guess maybe I'm thinking about construction, but do you ever have to work alongside them? Like,
for sure, that's basically what we're doing.
Okay.
I had a few internships. My internships were a little different than the project I'm on right now, because my internships, I was in the middle of the construction phase on a simpler project too. It was an apartment building. So as you know, with apartment buildings and hotels, it's just copy and paste going up. Your room's gonna be the same. You just got a higher floor. But we work alongside. So basically, what we're doing is just overseeing the construction. So we're just solving problems all day, and we're handling logistics, and we're handling legal work, and we're handling something they call change orders. So say if something was to break or something was wrong in the drawings, that may require a change, and that change comes at a cost. Because you know what I mean, everything comes at a cost. So all this has to be documented through paperwork, through getting signatures, through the top dogs and everything like that. So it's our job to stay on top of all these things and have the paperwork right as the construction process goes along, because any investor, they want to return on their money. And you don't want to just lollygag a job, end up losing money as the process goes on. Then nobody really gets paid what they intended to. So
it's like when you watch HGTV and you know they're demolishing the house, and then they realize like, oh shit, like we're gonna need to replace the whole floor.
Exactly.
That's gonna be a whole like another $5,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we would have to write up a paper for that. It has to get signed by owners, has to get signed by our executives, and it has to be put in a file for the duration of the project. Just in case something go wrong at the end, it's insurance to save our own ass, basically.
Right.
So we just, the engineer in the true itself is a problem solver. So that's all we doing all day.
It's crazy because you're catching the problems before they even.
That's the goal. That's the goal. So like, I'm glad you said that, because as you go on, like I'm entry level right now. I'm a newbie, so to speak. And there's people, you got executives, VPs, and things like that that's been doing this for years. So they can foresee problems, like how Morgan was saying. So it's like, I was just explaining this to bro. Like, I love it because, yeah, we solve problems in school, but you had a deadline and you had to go seek help. You know what I mean? You had to go get a tutor, or you had to go to office hours, or you had to just go cheat or figure it out yourself. Right. But
heavy on that.
Yo, shout out to Che. But that's another story.
Shay don't be doing that. But I'm gonna stick up for you, Shay.
But what was I saying? But in this job field, it's like nobody can't fail because people's jobs are on the line and money's on the line. So whatever you don't know is somebody that know it. That's what I'm basically trying to say. So it's a cool experience, you know what I mean, moving around the office and looking at the levels to everything and everybody and the information that everybody has. Because you got 40-year vets that's been in construction and they can answer any question or seen every problem. So that's why they're in charge. So.
Right. And what would you say is like the most challenging part about your job?
Information. It's a lot of new information. So you really got to be a student of it. You can't really, and being though it's a job, I can't BS it. I can't go and check. I can't cheat. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to know the information to move forward within the career or even within the day, to be honest, or the week or the month, because that's how things be going. Right. So just because I'm new right now, a challenge for me, it's not even really a challenge. It's just, it's kind of mind-bearing because I'm going through so much data, collecting so much information in a day. It can get, you know what I mean? It can be a lot on the brain. But that's what come with it. So as I go, I collect that data and, you know what I mean, whatever I retain will be good for me. So that'll probably be the most, that and adjusting to waking up early and, you know what I mean, having that 9 to 5 schedule. So, oh my bad. You got it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you mentioned being a student to everything, which I think is great. And that kind of brings me a little off topic, but still on topic. You know, how was that like in Jersey? Like just growing up in school and like because you were in high school in Jersey, right? Did you move here after college?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, how was that?
So college was cool. I went to like, high school was cool. Middle school was one thing. It was, you know what I mean? Middle school is going to be middle school. Yeah. Fun. You run around. You don't have no responsibilities then. So high school, as you get older, I kind of went to like, I'm grateful for it, but it was bittersweet in my eyes because I didn't go to my home school. I went to like a trade school that converted to a full high school, which was kind of like 30 minutes out from where I live. Okay. So it was good because my home school was kind of troubled, had a troubled school system, you know what I mean? And there's no telling where I would have been if I went to that school. But everybody wants to go to their home school to rep where they're from, especially when they came to sports. But I'm grateful for the high school I went to, which was called ACIT, Atlantic County Institute of Technology. Shout out to them. Nice. Because it was almost like college prep. Yes. And I also, when it came to those trades, I also was taking culinary for 4 years.
Yeah, she told me you was a chef in the
shout out to
Chef Tay.
Yeah, exactly. I got a love for cooking. And shout out to Yazzie too. She sat through that whole 4 years. Not sat through it. It's all your food. But yeah, she my witness.
Were you always a great chef, or you had to?
Nah, I had to develop that for sure.
Okay.
I'll say that respectfully. for sure. No, I was never
humble.
But it was definitely times we had baking classes and I made Yazzie a croissant and she went and dropped 30 after. Like, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, the croissant gave her powers.
That was definitely a fact. But nah, yeah, I'm grateful for that school because, like I said, it was college prep, and you know, what I mean, it got us ready to make decisions and use time management and things like that. Okay. But yeah, all in all, high school and everything, it was pretty typical. It was all right.
Okay, and you said college is where you developed your love for cooking, or you've always done that?
I would say college, yeah, because at that time that's when I started living on my own, so I had to cook.
Okay.
So it's like, you know what I mean?
Adulting.
Bless your heart. People don't be knowing how to make food as a news.
And I'm knowing.
Don't come for me.
Yeah, I'm coming for you. For your throat.
Hey, but first of all, I can whip up some oodles and noodles. Don't do that. Listen.
What's your layout?
Gourmet.
Put us through it right
So
quick.
first we cook the noodles, right? I don't even like putting it in the microwave. I like to put it on the stove.
Yeah,
I never
made
time. Yeah. I'll be putting it on. Yeah,
I don't have.
So after we take it out, I only put half of the seasoning packet, right? Because we about to put some other flavors in, right? So we're gonna hit it with that garlic powder, onion powder, paprika sometimes when I'm feeling extra, you know what I'm saying? And then if I really have time, I'll boil some eggs, chop it on up.
Oh, you're getting
throw
fancy.
that butter in there.
I heard about that butter.
Parsley. And voila.
Not parsley.
You know we gotta sprinkle the parsley.
For the garnish, because parsley has no flavor.
Yeah.
It's only an aesthetic. No, I'm
Listen,
not mad at that.
that's how you whip it up. I'm saying.
No hot sauce? No.
I'm actually growing into hot sauce. When I was little, I'm like, why? Like, people be putting in their purses. Like,
yeah, my pops be doing that.
Yeah, but I can see how people like it now. You know, it's a distinctive taste.
Yeah, I've been drowning my noodles in hot sauce.
Let me ask you. I don't know how this comes. Okay, I know how to do it. Have you eaten a chocolate covered pickle? Yazzie says she ate them all the time as a kid, and I'm like, a chocolate covered pickle. A chocolate covered pickle.
Oh man,
we were all looking at her like, yes.
Yeah. I don't even like pickles, so.
Oh damn. Well, that would make sense.
Okay, and I'm a little ignorant. Yazzie, is that your significant other?
No, Yazzie is like my sister.
Oh, okay. Yazzie, your friend Yazzie?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I'm sorry, Yazzie, if you see this girl. Okay, so Yazzie is your sister.
Yeah,
okay.
That's my people's. We 10 years plus right now.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. And she was supposed to be here actually.
Word? Oh, that's
She
hard.
was gonna come, but you know, ride situation.
That's hard. That'd be nice.
Okay.
Maybe the next one.
Facts. We can have a reunion.
Word.
Bigger
That would
room.
be fun.
And now we all getting our hair done.
That's good. We gotta be at a salon for that.
Not necessarily.
That's true.
Listen, watch how we glow up. Watch how we glow up. Yeah.
So I'm curious, did you ever have any dreams of like taking your cooking to the next level? Like,
oh yeah. I'm having those dreams now.
Still, okay.
But yeah,
okay.
it's a time, you know what I mean? It's a time and place for everything.
For sure.
And I always wanted my own food truck.
Okay.
Two, this is cool. I'm glad you asked me that question. I finally get to say this. So I always wanted to provide like an experience, right? So say you and your sister and y'all got like some friends, maybe like 7 people, y'all having a cool little girls' night. Mm-hmm. And the experience I would provide would be those 7 people at a location, whether it's like a suite or like a room or wherever, something more intimate, not big, not like hall, maybe at the house, you know what I mean? And I just provide whatever little food y'all want, maybe provide whatever paraphernalia y'all need, you know what I mean? Whether y'all want to smoke, whether y'all want to drink, just provide that experience y'all would have had, y'all would have did already, but just, you know what I mean? Make it hands free for y'all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just, I've never seen that before. Everybody that normally does that, everybody brings their own thing to the table.
Definitely.
But that's what I always wanted to do, and just showcase like a secret menu. Like you don't really know what you're gonna get, but it'll be like you'll get a survey asking what you like, and then we'll just develop something from there. So that's something I always had in mind.
Your test subject?
Oh, for sure.
So
get an Airbnb.
What are you thinking to call it? Is it gonna be like a
P&B
an
Eats.
event? P&B Eats.
PME.
PME.
Yeah, so my company name is PME, which stands for Prolific Materials Enterprise. It's like a parent company that's gonna house a whole lot of other things. Okay. And then the food extension, which I actually started, I was gonna sell gourmet salads on my campus, and then the pandemic hit. So it kind of just, you know what I mean? It kind of stopped on that. Now I'm gonna pull it back when it matters. I'm in really no rush to do it because I got other things in front of it. That's gonna make more sense before that come back again. But definitely PM me eats, which I could take a lot of different ways. I had thought to like PM as in like nighttime eats. I can specialize in something like that.
Yeah.
And
that's when we all be hungry.
Exactly.
You know what I'm noticing that I'm really loving about you right now? You're multifaceted.
Renaissance,
and you
man.
recognize that you have all these different gifts, but you're in no rush to do them all right now. And that really resonates with me as somebody who knows like they're a very talented person, but you know, sometimes I get like, oh, I gotta do this now. Oh no, I gotta do da. Like, no, you're focusing on what's in front of you right now, getting that to where you want it to be, getting that to where you need it to be. And then, you know, your gifts aren't just gonna leave you. You're still cooking, you're still catering to that stuff, you're still putting that stuff in motion.
Facts, yeah. I appreciate your words. It definitely always wasn't like that though. Before it was like, I gotta do this, gotta do that all at the same time, and I kind of just burnt myself out. And then I had to realize like, a lot of things be contingent. Like you can't do this until you do that. And it'd be better for this to be done after that, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's like sometimes you gotta just play the waiting game. You know what I mean? Patience pays. Like that's really one of the most important things that a lot of people, they lack. They don't have delayed gratification. And we was talking about this the other night. But that's important. You just gotta trust the process. You know what I mean? And when you do, things will come full circle. So
I'm curious, what motivates you to keep going, you know, with everything that you have going on?
I would definitely say right now, the biggest thing that motivates me is probably my family. Okay. Like my family, we're going through a lot of grieving right now, a lot of unexpected deaths. And
I'm so sorry.
No, I appreciate that. But it's like, you know what I mean? It only brought us closer and made us stronger. So I realized a lot of things. Like I said, when I was younger, money was the most important thing to me. But now I realize that really the most important thing is family and just having the right community around you. Yeah. Not even family in the sense of like we blood, because not all family really your family. Like it could be y'all, you know what I mean? Good energy, just having the right atmosphere around you and community. So that's what really motivates me. You know what I mean? Just collecting all the information I collect and just sharing it with my community so we all can move forward. So definitely community and family is my biggest motivation right now for sure.
I love that. Yes.
You're still so young too. Some people don't wake up and realize that until they're 40 and alone.
That's a fact.
That's true.
I think it'd be all about your experiences though. Yeah. Like age, I really believe age is just a number, and you're really aged by what you go through. So your experiences is just gone. You know what I mean? It'll grow your mind way quicker than anything. So make you realize what really matters more than other things.
Yeah. As I get older, I'm starting to realize that too. You know, and how old are you?
25. I'll be 26 this year. Yeah.
Okay, so you've hit that quarter century where you're just like,
yeah, like you just get a feeling in you. I'm not trying to do that no more.
And then once you hit 26, you're like, now I'm over the hump, right?
I did not know you were that old, Dontae.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like the older I get, like when I was in my younger 20s, I would just, it was just always like one, you feel like you just have so much time, but not that much time. But it's like, I'm young, right? And then it's just like, you wonder, like when you see people that are like in their 30s and like, I don't know if you've ever had like an older person, like not hit on you, but like show interest in you.
Oh yeah.
And it's like when you're young and you're looking at them, you see them like, yes, they're just another like person. We're both energies, but it's like they're 30 and I'm 20, you know what I'm saying? But once you hit 30, you look at that same 20-year-old like, child, if only you knew, like, you gonna basically still be you, like, but you just done been through some shit.
Exactly.
And now you're tired of the shit. Right. Like, you don't got time for certain shit. Like,
yeah, you're gonna be a different version of you.
Exactly. Like, you might have caught me out in 2-degree weather trying to go to the club with my friends in my 20s, right? In my 20s. I'm still in my 20s. In my younger 20s, right?
Facts.
But now, like, if the weather's not right and it's not a special occasion, I'm
not going
good. Like,
even if the weather's right, we might not go nowhere.
That's true. It's like, keep me in my bed, you know? So I definitely feel that with, like, just experience. Age is, like, you're still going to be you.
Word.
Like, years down the line, you're still going to be you.
Word.
And it's really up to you whether you want to portray yourself like, oh, I'm getting so old, you know, and then like, or no, like, I'm 84 years young. I'm still running on the treadmill. I'm still running marathons. You know what I'm saying?
So one of my clients, she's how old is she? How old is she? At least 70 something. She has a world record
Really?
for like a cross country race.
Oh wow. And still not beat it. Still undefeated.
And she's still trying to beat it.
Shout out to her.
Right. Shout out to her.
No, yeah, I definitely want to be moving around at that age.
We just met a guy in Gold's Gym not too long. That was like a few days ago. And he was what, 56, he said? Something like that. And they're running sprints. And he's just like...
That's really young. Sorry to cut you off. That's really young for real.
It is, but it's like, that's that age that like, you know, people be like, oh, my back. And, you know...
You know what it all comes down to though?
What
you did before that.
What you said?
What you did before that.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But even deeper than that, it's your health. Like that's what it really comes down to. Your health, your health habits that really aid you. And if you're serious about your health and you know what I mean, try to eat cleaner and do better things for your health and have a healthy environment too, not even what you just eat. You know what I mean? Your 50 may not feel like somebody else's 50.
Right.
So that's really, you know what I mean? That's really a big thing about it too.
Where do you see yourself in the next, I guess you could say in the next 5 years and then in the next 10 years?
Next five. Some sturdy questions.
I know, right?
5-year plan. What you got?
5 years. What year is 5 years? What is it? That'd be 2028.
Yeah, let's.
So what's crazy is back to the engineering. Like these construction projects be long. So 5 years from now, I'll probably be finishing up the project I'm on.
Okay.
Maybe I'll be 2 years. It'd be like 2 years after I might be in a new project. But 5 years from now, I really want to be in a place of very minimal debt. You know what I mean? I had a what's the word? I had trouble with credit cards. Let's say that. You know what I mean? Going a little crazy. I know a lot of people can relate to that, but I'm correcting that right now. Okay. So another valuable thing to me is credit. So I'm trying to be in a real debt-free place with capital to move and just act on the plans that I have laid out. Because debt is in front of that right now. So I'm just trying to clear my path. I'm trying to clear the smoke because I know what I want for myself after that smoke. You see what I'm saying? But I can't get there because I know I gotta do this first, which is the debt. Not saying that's gonna be a 5-year plan, but I know maybe like a year and a half from now I'll be debt free, and then from that year and a half up to that 5, I should be implementing everything that I've been saying for these past couple years. You know what I mean? Whether that's the food, whether it's just more investing in the market, or whether it's saving money for a property. So just like the basics to becoming wealthy, so to speak. So that's where I'm at with it. And still just collecting more information. And then for that 10-year plan, I should have all these things. I expect myself to be, be full-fledged with everything I'm looking to get done and trying to find a way to get myself out of it. So I'm trying to automate it. Yeah. Or put people in position. You know what I mean? Exactly. So everything can be passive. So that's definitely my 5 to 10 year. And then I'm even looking further down than that, but because 10 years from now, you know what I mean? Not even 40 yet, so he's still young.
Yeah. You got a family?
Do I have one?
With like...
Oh, in the plans? That's funny you say that because I got nieces and nephews and they real young. They all like under 10 and I've been having some crazy baby fever. But that's, you see what I'm saying? But that's another thing. I don't want to bring a kid into any type of world. Yeah. I want to bring them to a specific world that I see ideal for them. So as much as I want a baby tomorrow, I ain't. You know what I mean?
You're smart.
I've been fighting that urge all my life.
And I'm curious, what are your views on, you know, just marriage and having a family, you know, and all that good stuff?
I feel like marriage is cool. It's not a requirement for me. Okay. But I can see myself marrying somebody that I love because she wants to get married. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but I'm cool with
because she wants to get married.
Like what I'm trying to say is like I'm cool with living my life with somebody and we don't get married. But I know marriage is also marriage is also a business. So I'll probably get married on the business tip.
A lot of benefits to that.
Yeah, so that's probably that'll probably be the reason I get married.
But listening to that, I do kind of want to bring the conversation back to money because that's another reason why I wanted you on. I don't want to have kids if I'm not married.
Yeah.
Because it's like growing up in the house with mommy and daddy, having that 2-parent household. I mean, yeah, you don't technically need the title and the stuff behind it, but then like the business aspect of it, the money, the benefits that come with being married, like if I'm gonna live with you, why? I mean, we already built our own stuff up at this point.
Yeah,
but
I feel that.
Outside of that, hold on. Split attention.
Great point.
Yeah, and I don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of 1-parent households, like they have a good relationship. Their kids are, you know, healthy mentally and physically.
Yeah, they thrive.
But I've also seen the opposite, you know.
Right.
Can't get along. The child is stressed out, like, and now I've seen that in a lot of, like, I don't want to say a lot of guys I don't talk to a lot of guys these days, but you know, just no, that's honesty. Not
about like you talking, but like I can attest to that. I've seen it more in a lot of guys, and then it just won't. I don't want to say seen it more, but it manifests more. It manifests differently in girls and guys. Like for girls, I usually see that like excessive attention seeking and like kind of just throwing yourself out there. With guys, it's like, you know, they struggle with something, you know. I mean, I see struggles on both ends, but I've also seen good things on both ends. So
yeah.
But back to the question.
Back to money.
Like, I wanted to hear more about what your process is, kind of setting yourself up early, because I noticed that, you know, on your Instagram, you put like informational videos of like setting up Roth IRAs and, you know, the whole retirement stuff and getting yourself set for the future, essentially. I just want to know if you can go into detail a little bit more or elaborate more on what that's like for you.
For sure.
And just different things that you're noticing being an early investor, because I know this is a long explanation, but most of the people that, you know, in the podcasts that I watch and listen to and the videos that you see, they're already like 40, 50 years old saying, this is what I did when I was younger. If you set this up, now I have $1 million. So people are going into it thinking, oh, I'm going to invest in the stock market. I'm going to give me $1 million. But it's like, it didn't get that way overnight.
I wish it was that simple.
Yeah. So if you could just elaborate now that my question is over.
No, for sure. Basically what I'll be trying to preach is like all the information we was cheated out of. So a lot of the people, a lot of the corporations, a lot of families that run the world, they pass their wealth down to their kids. And a lot of people from what I know, where I'm from, not what I know, and who I know, we never had that opportunity. Only thing we were passed down was check to check, hardship, you know what I mean, food stamps. That's all I know. So I'm trying to change that generational curse is what they're trying to say. And the best way to do that is to stay ahead of the curve. And one way of being ahead of that curve is just having that information and finding out how these wealthy people are getting wealthy, staying wealthy, and passing their wealth to their kids. Like that's really the reality is right now. And some of those ways are the most, you know what I mean, the most simplest things, like how Morgan mentioned is the Roth IRA. Like you just have a retirement account. And the biggest thing is just compound interest. And then the earlier you start, the more you'll have. So the beauty in the Roth IRA is you can invest money, your after-tax money, and you got to hold it in this account. And after a certain age, which is 59 and a half, I want to say, you can withdraw. It could be, you got to fact check me for every camera. Always go do your own research. I am not a financial advisor.
There we go.
You know what I mean? I'm not giving no financial advice.
This is for entertainment purposes.
Entertainment and inspiration.
Inspiration and motivation for sure. Like, definitely go do your own research. But that just go to show I ain't perfect. I'm glad Morgan brought that up. So it's just like anybody that ain't perfect can do this. That's how simply it really is. Like you gotta a lot of us don't know about it and are scared to really dwell in it because we're just ignorant to it. You're not gonna really put 100% into something you don't know. And it's something that you're so unfamiliar with. But you basically just setting yourself up for the future. And that's all really the stock market is. Like you're buying top companies that have been bought for years before us, or that may be new and they have a sturdy future. They may be changing the course of the world moving forward. And you're just buying shares. You're becoming an owner instead of a consumer. Because a lot of us have been consumers all our life, and all we'll ever know is to be a consumer. So instead of being a consumer, why not be an owner and get paid for it and receive benefits, tax benefits. And one of those ways of being an owner is like owning real estate. You have a tax benefit, like it's rental income. Like you have, and I'm saying this in the most simplest form. It's you know what I mean, it's a lot that go to it. But basically, you buying a home, and your mortgage, say your mortgage is $1,000 a month, but you could rent this home out for $2,000 a month. That's $1,000 cash flow you can make every month for the life of that mortgage. And mortgages be like 30 years. And that's just one home. You can have multiple homes. Just like Monopoly. Monopoly is real life. I need everybody to go play Monopoly. You collect these homes, you get some skin in the real estate game, and then you go cash in some homes for an apartment building. Like that's really what's going on when it comes to real estate in this world. And then stocks is a whole nother thing. You invest in, instead of investing in something physical like the real estate, you invest in the top companies. Like you can invest in Apple. We literally all are sitting here with iPhones. Yeah. You can invest in Apple. Apple is the #1 company in the world right now. It's $1 trillion company. It has $1 billion in cash just sitting around. And it's been doing this thing for years. So to say it in the simplest form with the IRA, you're investing in a great company and you just letting it sit because compound interest and dividends is what's important. That's what's going to grow your money. And consistent contributions. Let me say that as well. It's important to look at investing like a bill. That's another thing. We're not just going to invest when we feel like it. In my opinion, you shouldn't carry it out like that. You really want to invest, turn it into a bill, and it'll turn out for you good in the end. So that, and the Roth IRA is just a tool. Real estate is just a tool, and owning a business, the proper business, a profitable business, is another tool. So that's
emphasis on profitable.
Yeah, definitely emphasis on profitable.
Because it can easily end up just being another bill you got.
Exactly.
I'm really
glad it's not bringing any money in.
Exactly.
Yeah. And are you familiar too? Because I see you're definitely, just knowledgeable on the, Roth IRAs and that compound interest. Are you familiar with the rule of 72?
Right. That's like with the banks, right?
Yep. So
go ahead, I'll let you explain.
Yep. So you take the interest rate that you get, divide it into 72 or divided by 72. That tells you how many years it's going to take your money to double. So like one thing I'm learning right now with this financial brokerage I'm working with.
Nice.
People are saving their money in banks, right? What they don't realize is the banks are giving you a 0.01% interest rate on that money that you're saving. So you take 0.01, divide that into 72. It's like
disrespect.
260, 270, something like that. That's how many years it takes. So like you put $100 in there, it takes 270 years for it to turn into $200.
That's
right?
disrespectful.
Right. And so that's why they encourage you to do the retirement accounts, investment accounts, because they take that money, put it in the stock market. They basically say the stock market has averaged a 12% return on interest over the past 40, 50 years. So people aren't putting their money in the banks anymore. They don't trust the banks because guess what? You put your money in a savings account with the bank is taking your savings and basically putting it into the stock market. So, yep. So that goes back to what you said. We got to learn how to be in control of our own money and not trust these financial institutions to control it for us, right? So,
and they're not even, that's crazy. Sorry to cut you off, Mark. They're not even controlling it for us. They're just holding it. And like you said, investing it. They serve us no benefit except to hold our money because anybody can come into our house and just rob us for a bunch of money. That's really the only thing. Like you said, they're investing our money. Why can't we? Exactly. Why should we have to settle for a 0.01 return when we can be making 12% while collecting dividends?
Exactly.
I was looking at my savings account the whole month of March. Guess how much I made in return? 2 cents.
Sounds about right.
In 31 days.
Probably above average too.
It brought me 2 cents. But it goes to show there is a benefit in it. Just 2 cents was that kind of hurt my heart a little bit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not even go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry, we gotta focus on ways for our money to make more money. They print money, we should be printing money as well. Exactly. So it's we gotta have our money working for us because honestly, money just sitting is losing its value because of inflation, because of things that was going on in the world. But Yeah, you just gotta be, you know what I mean? You just gotta be wise with your money. And just, the main thing is just stop being a consumer. Like, that's the worst thing for us, is being a consumer.
How do you think we can, I guess, influence our community to focus more on that?
Awareness. Like I said, a lot of people are ignorant. So I'm grateful for y'all because y'all allowed me to come on y'all platform and speak about things like this. So this might touch somebody that never even was even thinking about this. Like, we dropped the whole rule of 72 on them, and they might, you know what I mean? They might go make an investment now because they got that clarity. So just growing awareness to people and letting them know, you know what I mean, there's an opportunity for us. You just gotta, you know what I mean? You just gotta have the right information, and we just gotta get it out there.
And you gotta look for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Get it to them and tell them to be a student of it. That's important because they gotta want it too. Because, you know what I mean, not too many people are giving handouts.
Information is out there now, and like you touched on this a little bit, like the information was kind of kept from us for the longest time. But it's like now, like your shirt says, we got people in those markets now. We got people that look like us, investing, making books, courses, doing their thing, and it's like they're putting it out there for you to see. You just gotta go get it. Look for it. Look for the right things. If you're not coming across this information, that shows more about you and where your focus is.
Right.
Not to say like anyone's is better than the other, but like, you know, how are you really setting yourself up beyond what's in front of you right now?
Right. And another thing to elaborate on that, which is important, once you get that information, because I fell victim to this too, which is a thing called analysis paralysis, which is real. Like, you'll just be in a world of collecting information and take no action. You just be stuck in information. Like, action is just important. So once you get that information, go do something with it. Because it's never going to come about just knowing it. Knowing it ain't really... People, you know what I mean? People, yeah, they get moved by information, but they're even more moved by results. And by seeing what you did and by knowing your mistakes. So action go hand in hand, if not even more important than the information.
Like what Ms. Lisa was saying, living an evidence-based life.
Yeah,
evidence-based life. Wow.
You don't have to pretend or, you know, fake it till you make it per se, because you're really living this. You're really doing this. You're really, you know, getting the results that you're supposed to get, because that's how you're moving in your life.
Wow, yeah, that's great.
I agree.
Shout out to her. I like that.
She was amazing.
That's how I try to carry things. I try not to speak about too many things that... I try to speak on things that I'm not really doing. Let's put it like that. So yeah, she made a wonderful point there.
Let's say somebody is listening to this podcast right now, right? They don't know what they're doing. They just lost their job, right? Don't got no money saved up. And, you know, they're listening to you right now. And right now they're thinking, you know, what steps can I take to just get on the right path towards, you know, everything that we're talking about? What would be your advice for them? Like, you know, just starting out, somebody who's just starting out, doesn't have a lot of money to invest, first of all, you know, their job, they're probably drowning in bills, debt. You know, what would you tell them to get started? I
would definitely tell them to look back on the path they just walked. Because my man Shay, I love Shay for this. He told me, he was like, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. So you got to look back and see what you were doing that has you to the point that you're at right now. And you got to learn from it. So that's where to start. You gotta take accountability, realize what you did, and see the change you need to make. And then from there, everything should be clear. Because what you were doing before, you know, you may have to separate yourself from that, whether it's the people and environment. And then once you understand what you want for yourself, you know where you need to put yourself. And then, you know what I mean, try to do something different. Because you know the saying, you want something you never had, you got to do something you never did. So definitely try new things and seek new information. Listen to more podcasts opposed to more music, because a lot of our music is steering us in the wrong direction. And a lot of it, try to listen to a financial podcast, or listen to a podcast about something that you want or something that you've been through that you're trying to get out of, because you're not the only one. We all went, you know what I mean? There's multiple people that went through these things. So definitely I would say just take accountability for your situation. Everybody hit rock bottom. It's about what you do after. That's how we're defined. We're defined by our hardships and how we act after that. Like, you're either going to stay under the rock or you're going to strive after that. So definitely look back, see, take accountability, and try something new. and be disciplined for sure. Definitely be disciplined.
I know I just took that out, but I got an idea. So
yeah, I started to ask like, it doesn't look like you're close.
It's okay. It's okay. You know what? And whoever told you about the frizziness of your hair,
it's crazy, right?
Yes, but that don't mean I'm gonna give up, right?
I never knew what the story about that was, and I know it was only like 2 people that did my hair that didn't come out with frizziness. And every time they did it, I did not find out what gel to use.
It's okay.
It was probably the red braided gel.
It's okay.
One of them smelled like Cheerios. I know maybe it's just me. It's this one like hair gel that I used to go to school back in middle school. Like all the girls that got their hair done, they used to smell just like that cereal. It was either Cheerios or Fruity Loops, one of them. But it had a fruity smell to the gel.
I ain't have Fruit Loops in them. Yeah,
they were.
But what? I'm trying to think of what products smell like Cheerios.
I mean, not Cheerios. It's probably Fruit Loops. Yeah, not Cheerios. Don't even. It just smell like honey.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
You gotta get the Honey Nut version.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Maybe Curls Unleashed. They kind of smell fruity. Like,
what gel do they have? Listen, we gonna do this till we get this right.
Yes.
Yeah, even if, you know what I mean, the moose with the do-rag always get the job done at the end of the day. So.
Feel me? You see where I'm going with it?
Right. Yep. Wake up.
Yeah.
What flying wave? So I'm curious. I know you're investing. You said you're investing in the stock market. Do you also invest in any of your contract or your engineering projects, or how does that work?
Oh, nah, that's way out of my league. Right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Nah,
I guess that would be like big commercial investment.
Yeah, let me give you a little perspective right now. So the project I'm working on is a government project one, and it's a $360 million project. Yeah, so I'm not there yet. Let me say I'm not, just not yet.
Got you. And how do you get, so you're an independent contractor, right? So you have to get these, like does the government give them to you? Not
to me personally. I work for the person that they give it to. I'm not an independent contractor. I'm an employee for a general contractor.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
So we have to bid on these projects. So for example, at some point in time, which was honestly, I think back in 2019, the airport, with Southwest and the airport and the MMA, which is the Maryland Aviation Administration, they all had the idea of, okay, we need to build this connector in between these terminals because of whatever issues they were having. They were having too much people traffic, too much baggage, so they just needed it all new. So it was like, all right, cool, let's hire somebody to get this job done. So what they went and did was they went and found an architect, they went and found an engineer, and they went and found a general contractor. And those are all 3 people that are needed to build the project. So
gotcha.
Yeah, so that's how that goes. So this is big boy business. Okay. Yeah, 360 million is it's in my reach, but I'm far from it. I'm not gonna lie.
But it's right there.
It's coming.
It's right there, right? Yeah, for sure. It's coming. All I need is 10 of that, and I'm cool.
Facts.
And I'm cool.
Like those questions that you was asking us. Would you, Brianna? What was it? Give up your eyesight?
Oh wow!
For $1 billion.
My eyesight?
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't give up any of my senses, honestly, because like I need to taste, I need to smell, I need to touch, I need to be able to breathe.
Is that a sense?
Well, okay, because
I think I can go.
I could go without smelling. Shit.
No, there's some smells that I just like. My favorite perfume.
It's like, you gotta give me like, if I had a limit, if you could give me like 20 things I could actually smell, I'm good.
Ooh, I like that.
If I had 20 things I could actually see, I'd take it. Sure.
But that would be, they would need to be the water, views.
My family, sunsets.
That brings me to my creative question, right? So hypothetically, right? Let's say you did not have to worry about money ever again in your life. Like you are financially free. You don't have to work a day in your life, right? What would a typical day look like for you if that was your reality?
That's a good question.
That's a great question. I actually have an answer too.
Okay.
I would definitely be getting up early. Still getting up early.
Okay.
Some type of tropical weather. You know what I mean? I'm stepping out. There's got to be some type of tropical weather.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting in the morning sun collecting peace.
Yes.
Like just cooling. Like, whether I might be getting high, I might be reading a book.
Yes.
I might be doing yoga. Like, it's just like just collecting that morning peace and knowing I don't have no agenda after that. I could probably go back and take a nap. But then after that, that's crazy. Like, I know how the morning went, but the rest of the day, that's a good question. I'll probably just go do all the things I enjoy. Definitely go see the people that I love, for sure. Yeah. Whoever's still around at that point. Any activities, so depending on my age, I guess I would probably be going to play basketball somewhere for sure. I love basketball. Okay. Probably be hitting the gym or getting a workout in, period.
I don't have an age, because I be seeing people 50 years old still out there on the courts like they're 20.
At a competitive level, let me see that. As soon as I can't compete no more, I just be in there chopping it up with the young boys, just talking shit. But and definitely eating good throughout the day, whether I'm cooking it or not. Like, we at them spots. Like every day is a vibe for sure. Like, we at the spot, and every day I might be with a crowd. Like, I'm not doing nothing alone. Like, it's at least 3 people with me. Like, 3 of my, you know what I mean, 3 of them ones with me, like steppers. Like, and we going to do something. Like, so for sure. Like, to answer your question, every day is a vibe and a movie. Like,
I love that.
Even if the movie's simple, it could be a short film, it could be a skit. Like, but it was recorded and it was a good time.
So next question: how are you living your life like that now? Not like literally, of course, but like what still gives you those same? Because at the end of the day, like, when we answer those questions, we answer based on the feeling that it gives us.
For sure.
So what are you doing now that gives you those, I'm on a tropical island with my peoples and we eating good, we feeling good, we doing yoga, we smoking more.
That's a solid day, by the way.
Nah, yeah, for sure.
It's a very solid day that I would repeat several times over.
And the only thing I would add is I would be on a boat.
Oh, on a boat for sure. Traveling too. Like, I'll be gone. Yeah. But to answer your question, that's actually a great question. Now, with a strenuous 9 to 5 that I have, to where, like, this type of job, you gotta move your life around this job. So it's like one of them 9 to 5. So I look forward to the weekends. So really, to re-answer your question, like, when I'm at that financially free point, I'm just doing everything that brings me peace. And peace with no rush. And that's what my weekends are right now. So just having that freedom right now, you know what I mean? Like, me and bro go to a couple yoga classes on Sunday. I catch some hoops in the morning, I just like doing things early too. That's really the old head in me, like getting stuff done early, no matter how simple it is. Like, I'm not waiting last minute all day to wash my clothes. Like, I'm gonna just get it out of the way, even if I had nothing else to do.
It's better that way.
It just feel better, way better. So definitely those weekends is where I catch those vibes. Definitely pour some tequila. You know what I mean? Just be chilling. So, and then, you know what I mean? We plan our own little trips here and there. But the weekends, for sure, the weekends. Friday nights through Sunday night.
Those are valuable. It's nice that too, to just have a job like that where you can enjoy those weekends. Like, I was working in car sales for a whole year. This whole past year.
That's 7 days a week, right?
Well, it was 5 for me, but my Friday and Saturday. Friday was 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then Saturday was 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So, like, my weekends were just...
You didn't have them.
Off on Sundays, but I was always, like, running errands, doing laundry, that stuff on Sunday. I didn't want to do nothing, so...
But then again, because I kind of have a similar schedule. Yeah. But it's like, I like having a couple of my off days during the week. Yeah. Because then, like, if I need to go to the bank or something or run an errand that the business needs to be open.
That's what I'll be missing out on for sure.
Like, I could put that in my schedule to do that.
That makes sense.
I could make those calls that I probably wouldn't be able to make while I'm working.
What's your Friday schedule more? You get off when?
I work 8 to 7.
Oh, dang. And then Saturday?
8 to 4.
Oh, dang. So, yeah, you kind of have a similar... And then what time do you get off on the weekdays?
Well, it varies.
Yeah.
So, like, typical hours is 7:30. 7:30 in the morning to 4:30.
Oh, so you be up at like 5 a.m.?
Scary.
On a good day. Some days that'd be like real good days, real good weeks. I'll get up 5 a.m. go work out before my shit.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Like, if I'm really feeling like
that's
that.
a real good day.
Yeah, for sure. And those days feel good when they end. Like, yo, like you did that. But like, normally I can get up as late as 6:45 because I can do 7:30 to 4:30, but I can also work 9 to 5. I can come in at. It's kind of like, and this is another thing I love about this job too. It's like it's all about how much you got going on. Like if I have a dentist appointment to go to, it's cool. I might not come into the office until 11. But depending on how much work I got, I might not leave until 6, 7. So it all depends on what you have going on. Those hours can fluctuate. Gotcha. I'm on salary, so I just got to get my 40 hours in per week. So that's normally how that goes.
So I was going to say, is it like throughout the days, is it like certain tasks that you have to have done before the day is over? Is that why it goes over sometimes?
That's another thing that's dependent. It may has to be done at that day because it was scheduled a week ago to be done that day. That was that day's due date. So it all depends on what's going on.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine they're probably even just like being on like hands-on some of the flip projects we did, because I don't know if you know I'm in real estate. So like I was able to
talk to me about that.
Okay, yeah. So like I did a couple flip projects with my cousin.
Word. And
that was like one of the things that we struggled with was getting the contractors to meet their deadlines. Like, you know, the workers weren't finishing stuff in time, and then or they were doing stuff backwards, and we had to pull stuff up, you know. So
that's my day to day.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that because that gives you more clarity what I'm doing. It's just that house flip times 30. Okay. Like you said, it's commercial. So it's like instead of and then that's a whole other thing dealing with TSA and getting, you know what I mean, different badges and things. Like, I don't want to elaborate too much because I want you to get back, but I just want to give you a perspective. Like the 10 people that's working on that crib, it's like whoever's doing the bathroom, now you're doing a commercial bathroom with, you know what I mean, 12 stalls and all this other stuff. And it's like that one guy is now 12 people just for the bathroom. So just to tell you how much is going on. So those problems you have with those subs, we have those same problems times 30.
Oh, man. Oof. And so are you actually like, do you ever have to be like hands-on, like putting the walls up and stuff? Or you're just the person that
that's out of my scope. That's what the sub does.
Okay.
I mean, I figure if I know what I'm doing, it wouldn't hurt to help. But you can't really do too much because it's liability that comes with that. That's not our job.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're like are you kind of like inspecting, like,
in a sense,
like looking at the foundation of basically taking notes on what stuff is. Okay.
You can definitely consider it an inspector. Yep.
That's cool.
In a form. Yep.
Yeah, I try to understand the roles a little bit better because, like, from my perspective, it's all meshed in together. Like, you just assign somebody something. So I was just curious to know how that worked for you.
And it is, in a sense, it is kind of all meshed because I got to know their scope of work. I got to know what they do. I may not be doing it, but I got to know how it gets done. So it's definitely, it definitely is all meshed.
Oh, yeah. I do want to ask you, who inspires you?
I mean, I guess that's not the same as motivate.
Well, yeah, because something does your family inspire you, or is there a person that inspires you, like a mentor or somebody you look up to that's helped you get to where you are?
This sweatsuit I got on right now is from a guy named Wall Street Trapper. He has been my
His name is Wall Street?
Wall Street Trapper.
It's not literally.
Yeah, that's not his name.
Wall Street Trapper.
That's what he goes by.
Okay.
And it sounds crazy to hear, but if you heard his story, you'll love him. Like he's my at the point of my life I'm in right now, and that's another thing too. Like when you collect information, you got to know when to use that information. So some information you got to put on the back burner and get ready for that later. So I was listening to him a while ago, but I couldn't really apply none of the stuff he was talking about because I just wasn't there yet. But now I'm there. So when he be talking, when I be listening to his shows and his pods, it hit me different. So he's one of my top inspirations right now in a moment of life. But as far as like overall inspiration, I'm inspired by Denzel. I know that's a whole different thing. That's an acting. Yeah. I know that's a whole different acting.
Okay.
But he's just an inspiration because of how good he is at his job. Like he just seemed like a cool dude. Like that's one guy I want to meet. Denzel's an inspiration. Nipsey was a big inspiration to me. That's all I can really think of. I don't really have too many inspirations. But that's 3 I can give you off that right there. Definitely Denzel. That's all I've been saying all my life.
Yeah. What's that? I was about to repeat one of his little acting things. He was like,
Pelican
I'll
Bay.
have you. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm finished with you.
I thought you was gonna. Is that Training Day?
Yeah, that's Training Day.
I thought everybody goes straight to Training Day.
Nah, he got some movies.
What was that movie?
My favorite.
Flight?
That's a goodie. That's a
Yeah.
definitely goodie.
Yeah.
That's
You
a
don't-
great. Nah, that's a
You
great.
don't have any bad movies.
I don't think he has any.
You don't have any.
And that'd be my point. Like, he's just good.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Flight is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Flight. I love both the Equalizers.
Mm.
Equalizer. I don't watch multiple times. Both of them.
Now I'm Googling Denzel Washington movies.
He got a long list.
Okay. Do you want me to point this out to you?
But I got a gray hair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my guy. I'm
That's
an old
my
head.
guy.
That's my guy.
I like the fro thing we got going on right now.
That's what it feel. I feel like
cool.
There
that's
was
what I feel like right now.
there was a character in Guitar Hero. Straight
Just like that.
That's funny.
Straight like that.
Oh, The Great Debaters. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Oh yes.
Deja Vu. That was
Yes.
a long time ago.
Halo 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. Remember the Titans?
I gotta see that again.
Mm-hmm.
He had another one I'm sleeping on that we all sleeping on. That was a good movie by Denzel.
He was in the Malcolm X movie too.
Malcolm X. That's one of them.
I don't think I saw that.
That's a good movie. You gotta watch
He was
that.
before my time.
That's a good 3-hour sit.
93, 95.
3 hours.
Yeah, it's worth it though. It's like 2 and 40.
Most of his movies are about that. Honestly, if I can sit through Roots, I can sit through anything.
I'm crying.
I never
That's how I
seen Roots.
felt about Django.
That's a good movie too. Shout out to Jamie
Django
Foxx.
was my movie. I hope he's doing well. Y'all heard about that today?
Jamie?
He got a stroke today. Oh my
Jamie
God.
Foxx?
He's in the hospital, yeah.
Oh shit.
Word?
They said they caught it in enough time, so he's on the road to recovery. So they're saying, but still, we know. And then all them anti-vaxxers. He got vaxxed. Like, come on now. They be doing that.
Y'all got vaxxed?
I did. I wanted to go to Jamaica. I had to do it. I'm like, you know what?
I think about it
YOLO.
every day. I had to.
You haven't? Oh, you had to?
I had to. Like,
See,
I
and
was,
this is...
I was extorted. That's what I say.
Extorted.
For sure.
See, this is my thing though, right? Because I'm a science head. I literally studied this. And it's like, when you think about it, I know the importance of getting a vaccine and herd immunity and all that great stuff, right?
Uh-huh. This motherfucker's nuts.
Okay. So, but at the same time, I'm also in a period of my life where I'm questioning everything that's ever been said to me.
Gosh,
And
tell me
so
about
it's
it.
like, when it comes to science, I only know this stuff because it's what was taught to me, because it's what was written in the books. At the same time, it's like you also can't deny the studies that happened. Like, we repeated some of those experiments ourselves in the lab, but it's also like, you can easily simulate stuff in the lab, and then you think law of attraction. I know, this is something else.
I'm waiting to see where you're going with this.
Like, I'm just questioning everything that's been said to me, because it's like,
so much information.
Who's to say that that's the right thing?
Right.
Who's to say that, it's my conspiracy theories.
And that's not even conspiracy, because I feel you, because it's like
some of it's facts.
Yeah, like you was taught one thing your whole life, and then you see somebody that debunked that with facts that make sense. You be like, damn, like where I go from here now.
And I'm so curious to sit like in a modern day classroom, like with the kids, now that they've taken out like critical race theory and all of that stuff.
Did I even learn critical race theory?
We learned it briefly.
What is it?
It probably wasn't called
just like teaching about like how we, how America used to be built, like used to be based on slavery, and we used to be slaves, and
they don't teach that no more.
No,
they try not to.
I'm homeschooling my kids.
It's creative, and I think that it.
You know what? That's actually interesting that you say that. So one of my clients is Ghanaian, right? Mm-hmm. And he was mentioning to me about the castles in Ghana where they used to hold the slaves while the ship was waiting. Uh-huh. And he was just saying, like, if you go there, like, did you ask them just about the history, about what really happened?
They told us.
Because it's like, it's different when you hear it from Americans. But when you go to Ghana and it's like your own kind of people who, like, their ancestors were the ones that either they escaped from the people that were attacking, or they were a part of what got so many Black people caught in the first place. Because they went there and they started partnering with some of the Black people to help catch the slaves. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, actually, well, since you've been there, would you care to share some of the things that you've learned?
Yeah, now you made a great point. Not even just Africa. Like, I learned a lot, and a lot of it I lost it. I wish I'd have took more notes, and you know what I mean. It was just so much. It was a crazy experience at a time in my life. But to your point, it's understanding how big the world is and how media works. So media and like forms of propaganda and even just the news, like it'll make you think one thing that's completely not even true. And like she said, like when you go to a different country and hear it from their perspective, it'd be like, wow, so that's really what happened. And then back to your other point, it's like, okay, they got their perspective, we got our perspective. What really happened? So it's like, now I'm stuck in between all this information. So it's just like, it'd be crazy, but
What was that?
gosh, don't, please don't go down. Please
Keep
don't. I just know if you fall, let go of my hair. Don't take it.
I got the death grip on this girl. You straight. I could never let you fall.
Yeah, you say that in the moment. You're just worried about hold on, pulling my. But yeah, it's funny because like it's like they call it like what being westernized. So when you go in countries across that Atlantic, it's like they consider it being westernized things and doing things, and it's like what they like. All right, so cool example. When I went to Africa, a lot of people there thought we were like rich for real, but to them we may be because of what they're deprived of, like their situations they've been in. Like it's a lot of people that when they see people from the West, especially people with fairer skin, like people with lighter skin, you know what I mean? They just automatically think they got money. And then it's unfortunate because they're in a situation where they have to beg and ask for things for so much. But it's just like, yeah, I'm here in your country, but that don't mean I have it to give it to you. But that's just that's all they ever see. Like they see companies like Apple, big corporations, just like money landing them. So it's like anybody that come there is like, all right, cool, they got something for me, and it won't even hurt them to give it to me. So it's just crazy to see the dilemmas around the world and how even with like Africa, and you think about, I mean not Africa, I'm sorry, China, you think about areas like North Korea where they control all their media through like communism, and it's a lot of things they don't even see. And if they see somebody from the West, it'd be like they'll be so lost and confused about something that's so normal to us. Yeah. So it's just like, it's crazy to think about how media work and how scary media can be because you never know what kind of information you get.
Right.
Like watching the news.
Yeah, the news is dead. The news is the person.
Yeah, there's so much different perspective and bias information out there, which is why I think, back to the critical race theory, I think that's why they took it out of schools, because it's like, there's a way to teach it, and because teachers aren't teaching it the way that they want it to, it's creating a lot of resentment within the minority community. And I remember when I learned about this, I remember being so angry about it. And then they tell you, you know, oh, people act like it's so long ago, but this literally like our great grandmothers were slaves, right?
Mama Rose was not no slave.
You know what I meant, like mommy's great grandmother.
No disrespect.
And actually, well, okay, our great grandmothers were segregated. How about that?
There we go.
There we go. They weren't slaves. All right. When did slavery end again? What was that year?
1844?
4.
No, Emancipation Proclamation. 1870.
I want to say it's
that was a while ago. So yeah, it's been a while since slavery, but when you learn that, I mean that to say, when you learn it at a young age and it's so fresh to you, it's fresh resentment, right? And I just noticed,
that's a great fresh resentment.
Exactly. And so it's like over the years, my perspective has changed because it's like, okay, yes, this is what they did to us, But I've seen the same stuff repeated so many times that I'm just like, so when are we going to do something different, you know, as opposed to a fresh mind that's just hearing this? They think everything is racism and unfair, or, you know, they choose Sarah over Jacqueline, and now it's because of, it's because she was white. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, while I do not deny that still happens to this day, I know it happens. I think that because of our past, it allows a lot of us to make excuses.
Facts.
Even when that might not be the case, it's like, we can just throw that on as the reason for why we can't excel in life or why we can't progress in life. And it's like, no, like, if only we knew. I don't want to put this on camera, but they don't want us to know that some of us were here first. Like, you really look at how many Black people are in America. You think they really brought all of us with some slave ships?
I don't believe it.
All of us? They talk about the Moors and how they killed off the Moors and the Indians.
Yeah, I heard about
what
that.
happened to the Moors?
Yeah.
It was some of us. Don't kill me, government.
See, and that's the thing with identity. Like, who
are we?
Like, okay, friends that, or people that you know that their culture is clearly like Nigerian.
Yeah, I think about this too.
Out of all this stuff. But it's like, as a Black American, what is my culture? I'm not going to Ancestry.com. I'm not going to 23andMe, because what are you going to tell me? You know what I mean? Like,
we heard we have a lot of Cherokee in the family, and it makes you wonder, like.
And then that's another thing. They always tell Black people, oh, I got Indian in me, my grandma Cherokee. Maybe we are.
I think we are.
Maybe we are. Like,
I know we all come from somewhere.
But it's also like maybe
there were people here before Americans came over.
Right. And then it's like, maybe this is our opportunity to like create that for ourselves. So moving forward, cool, all that happened 400, 600 years, not ago, but for that period of time that made us essentially forget who we are. But what if we created that right now? What if we established this is who we are, this is what we stand for, this is what we do, pass all that down, so then our children
exactly
know exactly like how they can go back to being Ghanaian. Oh, I'm a Black American. Now that actually means something, not just I was born in America.
Yeah, like it makes me sick to my stomach these days to even just hear like, oh, I'm Black, so I'm at a disadvantage. Like,
yeah.
What are you saying? Like, and I actually put this, Morgan knows I be on, like, you know how TikTok Live, they'll read what you engage in and they keep sending it to you?
It's funny because I never tapped on a TikTok Live.
You did it? Oh, God, don't do it. It's a wormhole.
But unless you know them, don't do it.
Exactly. Okay. So I've just recently started hitting not interested in those live debates. Right. Because they noticed I was typing. So they're like, oh, let's show you more of this annoying shit.
Oh, okay.
So,
the algorithm. Like,
yes. So it was a debate about, just Black people in America are we experience systemic racism, and it's just like agree or disagree. So people were coming on there debating, and one thing I heard them say over and over again is like we're not meant to succeed in America. We're not meant to, like, we're not built to do this, that, and the third. We're automatically at a disadvantage. Da, 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 da. So one girl got so pissed at me because I'm like, well, where I'm from, I use my Blackness as an advantage.
There we go.
And she's like, I want to bring Brianna on the live. But first of all, I don't even have access to go live on TikTok. But she's like, bring Brianna up here because she seemed to think, where do you use your Blackness as an advantage? Da, 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 da. Like, but it's really my manifestation. Like, I'm not going to deny I've encountered some passive aggressive racism in my life. We all have. But it's like,
we all will continue to.
Yeah, and it's like, is it like, part of me feels like I've done that too, like with the opposite race. Like, I'll see a white woman with a stank look, and I'm just like,
I already know it.
But what if she wasn't even mean mugging me? What if she was just mad because her husband just did something and she just so happened? Like, have you ever done that before? Like, you were mad and you're glancing, and then you realize you're staring at somebody and you're like, oh, shit, like I didn't mean to do that. Like, you know.
Every time y'all tell me fix
Yeah, like resting bitch face. Like, so it's like, we never really know what people's motivations are, but like, I just feel like there's so much opportunity out here. And because I've decided to see life from a perspective of like, I only want supportive and positive people around me. Yes, I might come across negative people here and there, but the majority of people that I encounter in the day are very nice and they're very supportive. Like, it's just people that I want to be around, you know?
People you align with.
Yeah. And there's been times where I'm just sitting and I'm like, oh, everybody gets on my nerves. Why is everybody getting on my nerves? Why is everybody getting on my nerves? And I'll say that. And then more people get on my nerves. And it's like,
you draw that to you.
Yes. Yeah. And so it almost makes you wonder, like, those same people who are walking around thinking that everyone's against them, they experience that. And it's not necessarily something like maybe the other person, like, you know, they didn't intend or know that that person was thinking that day, but law of attraction. Like, you can attract positive, you can attract negative. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about your aura. It's all about what you're putting out there. That's a good point about what you said about people just walking around, you know what I mean, just mad at everything or thinking everybody against them. It's like, you don't even know you're making them do that because of how, you know what I mean, because of how you're acting. So it's just, you know what I mean, for every action, there's a reaction.
Yep. Like, where one person tells you, fuck no, there's 3 other people that will tell you yes.
Right.
And it's like,
you're not even giving them the chance.
Exactly.
Not even giving them the chance. But I want to go back to your point about what you said about like white people, especially like older white people. That's where it gets tricky to me. Because it's like, all right, cool. Knowing everything that we done been through, everything we still going through, and what we're probably going to go through, it's like hard for me to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because I'm always have a feeling that I know you got something against me because of the color of my skin. So it's just like,
even if it's not conscious, it could be subconscious.
Yeah, like, because it's just
they were taught in their household.
Exactly. That's even greater to my point. So it's like, you may not even be doing this on purpose, but it's like, it's hard. Yeah, I'm a cool, you know what I mean, I feel like I'm a people person, you know what I mean, I speak first and do things like that. But it's like, even if I speak first, I'm talking to you, in the back of my mind, it's still like, yo, you probably can still slime me out. Because if it came down to it, the color of my skin is like, it may not sit well with you. But I could be wrong. But I got to carry it out that way just because of what history. And history always repeats itself. And I'm a believer in that. But I feel like it's good people everywhere, though. You know what I mean? No matter what color it is. So don't fully quote me on that. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
for
it's definitely,
sure.
I've definitely came into some people of the other race that, you know what I mean, it's cool, 100%. But
But you're right. It is an understanding. And stereotypes are just really what they are, right? Let's be real. We are a type of society that will be so mad when we're put into a category, but then it's like, you look at just mainstream and everything, like you said, the agenda that's being pushed, and this is what's being portrayed of us. And it's like, that disgusts me so much, because it's like, it's actually caused me to fall back on listening to like just secular mainstream music. Because I used to just be like, I don't care what they're saying, this beat goes hard. But like, when Curtis be playing his songs sometimes, and I'm just like,
what are you talking about?
Like, you start listening. Like, at first we weren't listening, but now we listening.
Exactly.
And then it's like, damn, I ain't even really like with everything they
like
talking
that?
about.
I thought that was
sometimes. No, it was, you ain't see the back.
Oh, gotcha.
But like, I know another thing too is like, all right, yeah, we went through everything we went through, but it's like, okay, cool, we went through it. How we gonna move forward? And I think the biggest thing for us is to do it how a lot of these other races do it. We have to stay within and build within our own communities. We got to find a way to start having our own schools and our own banks, and you know what I mean, keeping our dollar within our own system. Because the black dollar leaves out of our own system the quickest out of any other race's dollar, is what I learned.
That's
so
that's
where it's always going to start. But unfortunately, things like the music and a lot of other systematic problems is putting a lot of black people against each other. So it's just like,
we're doing it for ourselves too.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, and it's like, it's not going to happen overnight, and we're still in an ongoing process, but with so much more, this is where information and the internet becomes so bittersweet, because with more information out there, it comes down to people having more opportunities to, you know what I mean, for us to come together and, you know what I mean, be better together and having information to more wealth, because no, money is not everything, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to money to really get things done. So we got to, you know what I mean, when we have more information to collect that wealth amongst each other as time goes on, and as we start to separate from the systems that have already been going on for so many years, that we start to separate from school, because we can find the same information out on the internet, to where we don't have to go to college, we don't need degrees. And how you talk about you may want to homeschool your kids, like evolution is real. With people thinking like that with their families, eventually at some point, hopefully we live to see it, we may be back to where we belong. Whether, you know what I mean, the black race has to go back to Africa, or if the black race,
but
you know
I'm telling you, some of us were already here. So facts. It's like, they love saying, not they, but people love saying go back to Africa, but like we're everywhere. We're from everywhere.
Yeah, I like
literally,
that. No, I like that. I like that. We can do it where we
This is our homeland. Like, this is where we were born. So it's like, nah, I'm not going to go back to Africa. I'm going to figure out how to change this system.
I've never been to Africa. How you going to tell me to go back to where I've never been to?
Nah, you're right. The system
but at the same time, until I go there, my spirit and my body won't know until I get to experience that for myself. Because America is all I know.
And I had somebody who said they did experience that, and that was one thing they didn't feel like it was home. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
And it was just like,
I agree.
Something's not right here. Like, maybe I'm not exactly from here. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, we got the same color skin, but
we're different, right? Like, we're not the same. I mean, obviously, we're all the human race, right? We're the same.
I feel like Kyrie right now. The Nike headband.
But that's gonna get the front.
What you trying to lay the baby hairs I don't have?
It's not.
What's going on right now?
It's you know.
You could create a little spook now.
But if I do that, then I gotta wrap it this way, and he gonna choke.
What you trying to do?
You got a do-rag with you?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
How to do what?
A do-rag.
Oh, do-rag.
I didn't bring my scarf.
I have my scarf if you want to put it on.
I mean, I don't have to. Oh, really, it's up to me, but I don't think I'm gonna put the scarf on right now. It's cool.
You might have to turn the cameras off. The hair. So the back, where you gonna put it in, like a little bun?
Not gonna lie, I'm just grateful to have you here, honestly, because you've always been really intriguing to me. Not just like partially through your relationship with Yazzie. I see the way you and Shay and Joe, right? Not Drew, Joe.
Joe, no.
The way you guys ride for her, basically.
Yeah,
like that's really you guys as family. And I grew up not really seeing too much of that for myself. Like, having guys in my life was, oh, we're in a relationship, or oh, they like me. But it's like, no, there can be people who genuinely care about you as a person, want to take care of you, want to provide for you, want to do all those things, but not necessarily want to be with you. Like, they just care about you as a person. They've seen you grow. They've seen you, like, be who you are. And, like, it's not even just with Yazzie. Like, you're a very stand-up guy.
Appreciate that. Appreciate your
You're
words.
a gentleman to everybody that you interact with. You swept your hair off the floor in the kitchen. Nobody asked you to. Like, you even mentioned, like, just the relationship with your mom, how she raised you and how you take what has been instilled in you, even through all the hard stuff that you've been through, and you still remain just a good person at your core. And that shows me, like, wow, much as girls go around saying niggas ain't shit and all this shit, just all this like bashing men, it's like you show me like, no, like there are really like great men out here who are doing well for themselves, doing well for their people, getting their work done, doing what they need to do. And you know, I really just admire that about you.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate that big time. You're working and everything. That's a great point you made there, because it is a lot of guys out here that's setting a bad rep and just
that too.
And it sometimes it may not even be their fault.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is their fault. But I know one thing I had to realize, I may have been one of them guys at one point. It took me to get to college to realize that, all right, every female you come across it's not going to be what you think it is. Like, they may just want to be friends, and you got to accept that. Then when I realized, like, when I start speaking about the community I want to build around me, and then you start valuing women, you start seeing women different, and you start seeing the importance of women when it comes to business, systems, life, everything. Like, the woman is the one. Like, you can't really do too much without women when you really think about it.
What about it?
So it's all about perspective. So once you know what I mean, once you look at something of value, you're gonna value it different. So that's how I just carry it out with women now. Like, we gotta protect y'all, especially black women, because it's one thing to be black, it's one thing to be a woman, and it's another thing to be a black woman.
And then in the society, I told you the hotel story. I'm scared for my life, right. And all I'm trying to do is just relax. You know what I'm saying? But even like, you know, just appreciating the relationships of who you are, and then how black women specifically are just so hypersexualized in everything that we do. It's like, you know, I'm still a person, right? Like, you know, and you,
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, that was something hard to overcome. You know what I mean? Thinking with the wrong head is a real thing, but you know what I mean? It just comes down to discipline, though. Once you get right with yourself, you know yourself, and you could be alone with yourself, you know what I mean? It changes the game, and that's something I went through. So kind of went through the hard way, and then forced myself to go through it. And then once you come out of that, like, you just see everything from a different light. And then one of those things is women. Like, we can't really be out here disrespecting our women, and unless it's a rebuttal, unless you're being disrespected, that's a different thing. But initially, you gotta protect for sure, because we need women. You know what I mean? I want a lot of women on my team when, you know what I mean, as I move on in life, because y'all know how to be fruitful and prolific with things. Excuse me, you know what I mean? We give y'all something, y'all make more of it, and y'all give us a different perspective. Like, a woman's train of thought, me and bro were just talking about this, a woman's train of thought is completely different from a man's train of thought. Like, the way y'all bodies work and everything, you know what I mean? It's just a whole different realm almost, but we need each other. So it's like, we can't cancel y'all out for sure.
I don't know. I've just been really intrigued with just the male perspective on life, and just moving, like, what you believe your role and your purpose is. Because I've also heard, like, come out of men's mouths, like, men need a purpose. Men need some type of goal or something that they're working towards. And it's like, what is that like for you? That's a loaded question, probably. But
it was. The end of it, I'm going to go ahead and answer that.
Okay.
As far as purpose, and I can kind of intertwine how women may fit into my purpose from different perspectives. So I feel like my purpose is to teach. Like I said before, like, with the community I got around me, collect the information and just give it back to them. As simple as that. I feel like that's my purpose. How women come involved, and I break it down, so like, with me being intimate with women, so like my significant other, so to speak, I feel like I need to follow my purpose, and that woman has to plug into with what I got going on. That's how I see it fit. Because every other time, every other way I tried it, when it came to relationships, I skipped being a friend first. I skipped trying to figure them out first, and went straight to sex, and then ended up hitting the fan. You know what I mean? So a part of growing up as a man, you kind of want to handle women differently, especially when you want them as your partner, in my opinion. So I feel like they got to plug in. They got to be one with, they got to be, you know how a lot of times men go out and they find a woman they want? I kind of believe the opposite. I feel like the woman that I need, that I feel like is supposed to be in my life, is going to be naturally attracted to me. And she's going to come to me because of what I'm doing in life. So I feel like that's how that's going to go. That's kind of my point with that. When it comes to relationships. Outside of relationships with women, like I said, I feel like they're vital, because I feel like y'all are good decision makers, and y'all give. Sometimes men can be stuck in their egos, and then when men are around a lot of other men, it's a lot of
pride.
Yeah, and a lot of men don't know how to drop their pride and work with other men. So
same thing for women.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's why we all have to work together, because it'll just even out the playing field, so to speak.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Some positions women perform better than men. So I just feel like women are important in the end. And then y'all create life. So it ain't no way we ain't gonna move forward without both of us. It take two to tango, but y'all go through that harsh 9 months.
Yeah.
It ain't just the 9 months. It's the 9 months plus the however many hours.
7 days.
Plus
periods.
the 2-3 years and then the rest of them after that. Which, you know, we have y'all, but like the bonding, this is also Dontae on that, but like the bonding between mother and child in those first months, definitely, but first 3 years, so important to the development of that child. Not just like that, yeah. It's like the security, the emotion, the even logic sometimes, because you don't remember it, but you're watching everything your mother is doing. You're aware through that connection that you've had through those 9 months, like, hold on, like, you brought me here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna look to you. Oh, he's with you? Okay, great. But like, that's deep. You know? So.
No, they're really just analyzing, you know. Just, you know, I do like just that, you know, what you said about how you feel like women are vital. And that goes back to kind of like, you know, just when we were talking about relationships and, you know, just the concept, like God created man and woman, right? Whatever that looks like to anybody, right? I think it's important, you know, there was a time, and I say it like it really wasn't that long ago when I kind of had this like, oh, I'm gonna be independent. I'm gonna do this on my own. Like, same with you. Like, I'm not waiting around for nobody to do this, that, and the third. Like, I'm gonna do it on my own. Like, I got me. But it's like, when you really look at the grand scheme of things, it's like you can call yourself independent, but at the end of the day, we need people to progress. It's so hard to do it on your own. Even if you don't have like a significant other, like a man in your life, like a boyfriend, husband. It's important to still have like people of the opposite sex that like a strong connection, whether they be like a brother to you, a father figure. I think that is so important. And we try so hard to say like that we don't need these things, but it's like human nature, right? Like, yeah. You look at the progression of anything, right? Like it's going to take the two opposites, right? Whatever that relationship looks like. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I get it. There's a whole agenda being pushed like, oh, independent, strong Black woman. Like, how are you going to be a strong Black woman and a soft Black woman at the same time? That's what I'm saying. Like, be you unapologetically, but understand like you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it by yourself. Like, any like people. Community is just so important.
Nah, yeah, I feel you on that. Come back full circle after hearing what you said and then going back to your question. I feel like my purpose with women, and this is the type of men I want to have around me as well. Yes, and like what you said about women having to be masculine sometimes, and that's out of nature, to be honest. I feel like I'm the type of man that's going to have a woman in her soft all the time. She can tap into that masculine because it's cool to be independent and try to go grab what you want. But at the end of the day, a woman is supposed to be comfortable being soft because it's out of your nature to be too masculine because that's not how nature set us up to be. So it's kind of like resetting the world order is almost that's the type of man I want to be. Take almost like your traditional way, so to speak. So
what are your thoughts on feminism? This may or may not go in there because I know people be peopling. But, you know, like, people be peopling. But, like, you know, because it's a debate where the whole feminism movement, it started as like, okay, equal rights and, you know, give women their fair share of what's out here in the world to women just completely trying to write off men and saying, we can do it ourselves and we can do it. Like, you know.
And then you got the dudes now like, okay, so let's go have one, LeBron. And now they don't want to pick up those like.
Now y'all tapping into y'all feminine. Do you want the soft life, sir?
No, I've seen a lot of that.
The world is crazy right now. It's crazy.
Would you like to have your soft life, Mr. Man? Mr. Man. But I mean, to an extent, though, yes, I'm not gonna mock it. I just did, but I'm not gonna, you know, discount it because I feel like there is a certain level of softness that a man needs as well. But that actually, because like how you mentioned peace, like you need that, because if you're going out here in this world and you're always like, you know, you gotta have your chest up a little bit. Wow, I just got a little stocky. Like, you gotta have your chest up.
Earlier, you was like...
I had to feel my heart center, you know what I'm saying? My heart chakra. Breathe into it. But, yeah, like, if you're going out in the world and doing all that, like, you want to be able to have some aspect of your life where you can just be like, oh, I don't have to put the armor on right now. I don't have to do all this. I don't have to, you know?
And I think that don't always equate to being soft, too. Like, having that peace.
Okay.
I feel like that's, unisex is the word? I feel like that should be a standard for people to have peace. Whether that's, I don't feel like yoga is a soft thing. I feel like yoga is a unisex thing. You know what I mean? Just finding peace and relaxing. Like, you don't have to, like you say, you don't have to have the armor always on. And sometimes it's strategic to take the armor off because sleep is important. Resetting is important. You know what I mean? It's like if you know.
Fighting your sleep.
Yeah. Right. Like, if you're trying to be the best at anything, you got to reset. You know what I mean? Our phones eventually die and we got to charge them up again. So.
Dang. Okay. Okay, parable. That's not a parable. Word. Metaphor.
Parable. What parable mean?
I keep putting my arm on this thing.
What does parable mean?
I like that word.
A simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson as told. Yeah. Okay, that's specifically for Jesus, but
I got the point though.
Yeah,
I got the point. Though.
And disseminate is to spread widely.
Yeah, disseminate, that makes sense.
Okay. I mean.
Yeah, but to answer your question though, about the feminists, it's cool. You know what I mean? You can't stop nobody from thinking how they want to think and doing what they want to do. You know what I mean?
That's a very
smart, I'm not against them.
Smart answer.
I'm not against them.
It's a very smart answer.
No, yeah, I think we got some good stuff.
I thank you for being here. I know we're dragging this out.
No, I'm chilling.
Brianna.
No, I think we got some good stuff.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm grateful to be here. This is cool.
Yes, thank you for coming on. Alrighty. So Dontae, now we are getting into our 60-60 portion of the show. And this is basically where you have 60 seconds to speak to our audience, offer any advice, you know, things that you feel that they could take away, you know, just from you being here.
Okay.
And yep, the floor is yours. You got 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
All right, ready?
It's
set a timer for 60 seconds.
It's really not time. Speak from your heart.
Speak from my heart. One thing I can say is definitely believe in yourself. Try to be self-motivated. Be disciplined. You know what I mean? Care about something. Care about people that care about you. A little quote I could leave with y'all is like, I love this quote too. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. And with that being said, like any downfalls you have, any hardships you go through, it's just a lesson to be learned. And you know what I mean? We get stronger, we grow character through lessons. So you gotta take the bump on the head and just move forward and just try to look at things from a different perspective. So it's never really the end of the world with things, especially if you have a purpose, because you know things are aligned for you. So you just got to stay on your course. But just all in all, staying on your course comes with discipline. So I can never stress discipline. You get disciplined with your purpose and the things you love, and everything should just flow. So that's my 60 take.
Lovely.
Thank you so much.
And thank y'all for having me for sure.